Hi ninjas, and welcome to another visual guide of Sekiro. After blazing through the gun fort and battling with the monkeys in the Bodhisattva Valley, you see a giant creature in the distance with their back turned at you. But unfortunately, that same creature is standing in the way of the cavern where you need to go get the item you need, as this is the end of the Sunken Valley area. But getting closer makes him turn around and notice you. This is a visual guide on how to defeat the Guardian Ape. Unlike many bosses so far, the Guardian Ape is a monstrous beast armed with the bloodlust of 100 soldiers, so don't expect any finely refined movements, but rather animalistic rage and aggressive attacks. His attacks are brutal and heavy hitting that all deal a lot of damage, and some are a bit weird. His basic attacks are very combo based, and each of his hits strike through large areas with grand movements. In the first combo, the Guardian Ape begins by raising up his left hand, signaling the start of the combo, and then slams down with both of his hands. He then continues with a swipe from the left, and after a brief pause, he rolls forward towards you, swiping from the right, and continuing to slam you with his right hand from above after the roll, and then finally he completes the combo by jumping towards you and slamming you with both hands. The Guardian Ape moves forward a lot during this combo, so try not to dodge the attacks, do not risk getting hit, and instead concentrate on deflecting them. The next combo has different options on how the Guardian Ape will attack that he will choose on random. In this combo, he first raises his right arm and swipes from the right side, and immediately continues with a backhand attack with the right hand from the left side. As he does this attack, he flips around to have his back turned against you as he sits down. In all of the versions, this is the same for all combo versions, and one version ends the combo here as he stands up and continues the fight. In the second version, he quickly turns to face you and slams the ground 2 times quickly with his left hand, and finishes the combo with another right hand swipe. Each of his attacks does moderate damage, and if the whole combo connects you, you will die. In the third combo, as he stands up slowly from the sitting position to his force, he dashes forward while releasing behind flatulence in a cloud of devastation, and if you stay on the winds of despair, your poison meter rises up very rapidly and you will be poisoned. And if the breath of the wild wasn't enough, the Guardian Ape will turn around and grab his yesterday's dinner and throw it at you. If the chocolate hot dog hits you, you will take high damage and your poison meter rises by a third of the bar's length, even if you deflect it. To avoid this, you have 2 options. If you are further away from the Guardian Ape, start running even further away once he jumps in the air, and as he flings the guano towards you, jump away from the spot. The other way is that if you are closer to him, start running under him, see where he aims at, and run behind him, and watch him throw the meatloaf in the completely opposite direction. Next up is a combo where the Guardian Ape puts his left hand in the ground and does an upwards diagonal swipe. With this momentum, he continues to jump a bit and flops into his back, where he starts doing a tantrum-like motion and flails his arms and legs, starting from the left side and there to the right, doing this for a few times before he gets up. Even though he looks vulnerable in this position for a few direct hits, most of his body has hitboxes that'll damage you if you go in. Both his arms and legs do damage, and the arms hitboxes reach out to his head, so be wary of that. So instead of going in, try to focus on deflecting the flailing limbs for the few attacks, and once he has calmed down, attack him then. In the next combo, the Guardian Ape hops a bit and raises his left hand above and swipes you with it once. Quickly after that, he swipes you with the back of his left hand in the same motion, and then he lowers it into the ground, doing an upward swing from the left side, which ends the combo. All of these attacks deal moderate damage and can be easily deflected, or you can dash back through the final attack behind you. The Guardian Ape moves a lot and includes attacks in most of his dashes and zooms. One of these attacks is where he moves a bit closer to you and then swipes with his left hand while he backs away from you. The other one is when the Guardian Ape is close to you, he starts moving sideways and slamming the ground every time he takes a step. Sometimes he may do this also while moving back. Now let's look at the Guardian Ape's perilous attacks. The good news is that he only has one type of perilous attack. The bad news is that those are grab attacks, so watch out. In the first one, he turns his left side towards you slightly. Immediately after the hops, the perilous attack symbol appears, and he attempts to grab you by swiping you with his right arm. If he does grab you, he slams you into the ground and tosses you to the side, dealing low damage on the initial grab, then low damage on the slam, and then 5 small chip damages that when all combined deal high damage. To avoid this, you can run backwards from the hand's reach or simply jump over the hand when he sweeps over you. The second grab attack comes when his HP is halfway or lower. Whenever the Guardian Ape stands tall on his legs and starts running towards you, he'll then jump in the air, and if he lands on you, he'll grab you and slam you into the ground with great power, dealing massive damage. To avoid this, either start running away from him when he starts running towards you, and jump away to make sure you get away from the grab. The other way is to dash under him and quickly run under him from the grab area. Now let's look at some tactics and tips. As intimidating and overwhelming as this fight may seem, you can still face him rather well head on, since the Guardian Ape uses a lot of normal attacks that can be simply deflected. However, posture damage is really not the case in which to beat him, since those deflections don't really build up that much posture. Instead, let him do his attack combos and then punish him with direct hits in between the combos when he is still gathering himself up to start a new attack pattern. Stay close to him, be patient, and stay defensive when he does his attack combos, and then switch to aggression once he stops his combo. When he tries to grab you with the stationary grab, jump straight up over the hand and hit him 2 times in the air. If you have trouble creating opportunities for hits, remember that this is a beast type enemy and is vulnerable to the shinobi firecrackers. He will be staggered for a small moment when he is high health, but once his HP is a bit lower, beware that he will start slamming in front of him after the stagger animation is over. If the combat still proves to be challenging, there is a way to ease up the fight, but requires a bit of timing. Just before you start the fight, use Divine Confetti and an Aqua Sugar, or Yashariku Sugar if you want a bit riskier approach but more damage, and then start sprinting towards him. The moment you are close to him, use the Shinobi Firecracker and then use the Mortal Draw combat arm. After both the Mortal Draw slashes, he should be staggering while standing first on his legs and then slumping down as shown in the video. Hit him only 2 times and then wait. As soon as the stagger animation stops and he almost makes a move, hit him again with the sword and he will instantly stagger. Hit him until he is in the same previously shown stagger animation and then hit him only 2 times. Repeat this pattern until his HP is all gone or his posture bar fills up, and you can finish him off with a very stylish manner and put him down to show your superior skill, showing you are the stronger warrior, a force to be reckoned with, and you will not disappoint Kuro, as you are a man on a mission. Congratulations on the victory. You are rewarded with the battle memory of the Guardian Ape. I'm sorry to inform you, but there is indeed a second phase. And even though he is as animalistic as in the first phase, the second phase as Headless Ape, he is more monstrous and unnatural now. Also, he picks up the sword that was stuck to his neck. One of the first attacks that he uses oftentimes is a perilous attack that is not a sweep, thrust, or a grab. Instead, he first begins by inhaling some air, placing his severed head into the stump, and then he lets out a blood-curdling scream, and if you are close to him during this time, you will receive chip damage multiple times and begin to build up your terror meter. As per usual, if this meter fills up completely, you will instantly die. So to avoid this, run away from the scream area, that is a spherical area which originates from Headless Ape's neck. It reaches farther in the front side, so if you manage to run behind him, you can come back to fight him more quickly, but it doesn't really matter too much where you are as long as the screen doesn't reach you. Many of his attacks revolve around his combos and how you react to them, so depending on whether you deflect or block the incoming assault makes a difference. Let's look at the first combo, where the Headless Ape begins by moving his right hand a bit to the left as the sword points towards you. He'll first make a quick stab attack going right diagonally, and if you block or dodge it, he'll immediately follow up with another stab attack going left diagonally. After this, the Headless Ape looks like he's about to stab from the left side, but instead moves the sword to the right side and then stabs from there, waits slightly longer than in the first 2 stabs, and then stabs again from the left side, ending the combo. Each of the attacks deal moderate damage if they hit you, but if you instead deflected the first stab, he might do any of the following attacks. He'll either use a swiping horizontal attack from the right side to the left. Blocking this attack will simply end the combo, but deflecting this will make him stand up straight and raise his sword with very unnatural movement and end the combo with a strong downward slam. If this final slam is blocked, you will stagger for a very small period of time, and if it hits you, you will receive high damage. But if you instead deflect it, the Headless Ape will fall into the ground neck stump first and stay there for 3 seconds and take a second for him to get back up, giving an ample amount of time for free direct hits. During this time, you can also use the Loaded Spear prosthetic tool, which you can get from the Ashina Reservoir. From the Ashina Castle idol, turn left in the bridge and grapple to the other ledge. there should be a bridge with two guards talking with each other that you can eavesdrop. Listen to them to hear about the functionalities of the spear, and after that, kill the guard with the spear. He drops a key which can be used to open the gatehouse in the reservoir. Inside is a chest that contains Yobu's broken horn that can be fitted to the shinobi prosthetic. Now how the spear works is that you press R2 or the right trigger for the initial thrust to activate, and once it connects to the enemy, you press it again to pull the enemy close to you. But if the enemies are big and have armor loosely on them, such as some of the Taro troopers, you can use the pulling motion to rip them apart of their armor and start dealing damage onto them normally again. Now as the Headless Ape is lying on the ground with the gaping neck hole towards you, use the loaded spear and pull out the reason why he is acting like this in the first place, the huge centipede within his body. This will deal huge amounts of vitality and posture damage onto the Headless Ape. In the second option, he does a second swiping attack from the left side, and if you deflect that, he lifts up his sword and starts charging up a bit longer, until he unleashes a flurry of attacks with first two slam attacks into the front, then two swipes, first from the right and then from the left, and finally a single charged up slam attack, that when deflected makes the Headless Ape slump into the ground as well. If he gets to this phase of the combo, he'll do the attacks even if you receive the hits, block them, dodge them, or deflect them, but if the last slam attack isn't deflected, he'll continue soon with a new combo, and if deflected, he'll slump into the ground, in which point you can use the loaded spear again. There is also a version where after deflecting the first attack, he does a quick surprise terror scream, so be wary. This does not deal a full bar worth of terror, but it still deals chip damage and raises your terror meter, so better watch out just in case. The next combo begins with the Headless Ape raising his right arm into the air while twisting his body unnaturally. After this, he swings from the side 2 times, first beginning from right to left and then left to right, which do medium damage per hit. If both of these attacks miss you completely, the combo will end. If they hit you, he will then swing a third time from the right side. In case you deflect the first attack, the Headless Ape has multiple options on how the combo continues. First is the shortest version, where he immediately goes to the final attack, where he does the same standing heavy slam attack. The second option is the same as in the previous combo, with the attack flurry with 2 slams, 2 swipes, and a strong slam attack. In the third option, after you deflected the third attack, he does a 360-degree spin, winding up a sweep attack that you need to jump over. In all scenarios except the last one, it is mostly important to deflect either of the first 2 attacks and the last attack, since the first attacks initiate the rest of the combo possibilities that lead up to the last attack, and the last attack possibilities need to be deflected in order for the Headless Ape to slump into the ground for free hits or the spear attack. Sometimes when he misses the first attack, spins a bit and hits the other direction, he might come back with a long swiping attack from the right side, and if you deflect this attack, he'll go instantly to the standing charged up slam attack. Another perilous attack is when the Headless Ape steps a bit to your left side and then does a sweep attack that does high damage. To avoid this, jump over the attack, but unfortunately this attack cannot be stomped on for some reason. Sometimes when the Headless Ape has done a combo or an attack and stands up, he oftentimes might just turn around and take a few steps to the opposite direction of where you are. This is a great opportunity to heal, recover your posture, or clear your terror meter, and prepare for the oncoming attacks. And speaking of healing, should you need to heal, make sure the Headless Ape has started a combo or the terror scream, then sprint away from him to a safe distance and heal. When the Headless Ape is at a medium distance, he sometimes jumps towards you into the ground onto his belly and does a single strong swiping attack from his right that does high damage. You can either deflect this, but you can also circle behind him by dashing or sprinting from the left side, and while behind either use a strong combat arc or simply hit his back approximately 3 times before he gets back up. When you see the Headless Ape jump high into the air above, he quickly comes down to perform a second type of perilous sweep attack. To avoid this, jump over the attack and preferably towards him in order to stomp on him and deal posture damage. Now let's look at some tactics and tips. This phase might be a bit tricky, since you get most progression from deflecting the slam attack, but the Headless Ape's movements are very unnatural, with the wind-ups being slow and then suddenly bursting into fast attacks. But just be patient, learn his movesets, and keep away from the terror scream. Keep a defensive roll up by deflecting his sword attacks and avoiding the perilous attacks until the Headless Ape is done, and then proceed to assault with either normal attacks or with the loaded spear. If you have the ceremonial Tanto that you can acquire by defeating the Shichimen warrior next to the bottomless hole idol in the abandoned dungeon, you can sacrifice half your health to gain 5 spirit emblems, which secure the use of the loaded spear in case you used firecrackers and mortal draw too much in the first phase. You can take your time and let him come to you with attacks, since the Headless Ape has basically non-existent posture recovery, so when you have distance, you can take all the time you need to recover what damage you have taken. Deflect the combo attacks until you get prompts to use the loaded spear, avoid his sweep attacks and terror scream, and only attack when he is in the ground, and you are sure to deliver the death blow, and this time finish him off for good. Congratulations on the victory. You are rewarded with the battle memory of the Guardian Ape and the slender finger, which can be fitted into the shinobi prosthetic to create the finger whistle prosthetic tool. This will allow you to make a whistling sound that attracts enemies where you played the whistle, and strategize some death blows on enemies, and also drive beasts wild that make them attack each other. And now I will show you example runs on how to defeat the Guardian Ape. First up is a normal run. Next, I will show you how to utilize the easy tactic in the first phase. And with that, we will wrap up with the video. You can now go to the cave the Guardian Ape was guarding and receive the Lotus of the Palace, that is a key item required to progress the game. I hope this video was of help. Leave a like if it was, subscribe for more, and if you have any questions or comments, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, stay vigilant, and I'll see you next time!
Fight, fight, fight if you wanna live long!